modern art. But what is modern art? Whatever it is, one thing is for sure: that its history has been marked by a succession of attempts to define it. Since these attempts have often been proposed in such a way as to promote one kind of art or exclude some other from the canon of modern art, these have mostly been violently contested, and none has ever taken entire possession of the field. Indeed, defining the field and what really counts as modern art is precisely the issue of such debates. And amongst art critics and scholars, this is debated with great passion, polemical force and knowledge, which always scares off people like me. So I shall not go into these controversies, but shall rather attempt to illustrate one particular view of modern art, an exceptionally influential one as it happens, by referring and illustrating the view from a range of artists and their works that might reasonably be classified as modern, and then to think about how this might help us reflect theologically about modern art. The view in question is suggested by Charles Baudelaire in his essay The Painter of Modern Life, a eulogy of the now largely forgotten painter Constantin Guise. Baudelaire does not claim Guise for modern art on the basis of any formal principle, but simply on the basis of his being a painter of modern, i.e. contemporary, life. This is one of Guise's works. Whilst the public at large, says Baudelaire, largely inclined to think of art as more or less identical with the great works of Titian and Raphael collected in the Louvre, or perhaps even what he calls the charming and coloured engravings of the last century, quote, these artists portray the past. Now it is the painting of contemporary manners that I wish to pay attention. The past, as he goes on to say, is interesting by virtue of its being the past, but he continues, the same thing is true of the present. The pleasure we derive from the portrayal of the present comes not only from the beauty in which it may be clothed, but also from its essential quality of being present. This, then, is Guise's service to art, that he's an unashamed painter of the present, an artist enraptured by the life of the modern urban crowd, and like Edgar Allan Poe's Man of the Crowd, quote, joyfully breathes in all the germs and emanations of life under the spell of a fatal, irresistible curiosity. In an authoritative and influential study, T.J. Clarke transposed Baudelaire's phrase to Manet and his followers more generally, making it a definitive feature of the breakthrough to modernity that occurred in mid-19th century Paris. And of course, Manet and subsequent Impressionists were also very much painters of modern life, like Guise, painting the sights and evoking the sounds of modern life, from pleasure parks to railways to horse racing and on to war, insurrection and executions. In this perspective, modern art is simply doing what art has always done. As Baudelaire says, every painter of the past had his own modernity, a point he illustrates by reference to how portraiture is always of its age.